love to promote good health and healthy eating. And it's also great that we announced to you that today is the World Hypertension Day for 17th of May 2019. The theme for this year is Know Your Numbers, with a goal of increasing high blood pressure awareness in all populations around the world. The very first World Hypertension Day was in May 14, 2005, and from 2006 it's been celebrated on the 17th of May. Guys, do you know your blood pressure number?
Currently, no, currently no. But I have been, I think I said it in sets where I've checked my blood pressure because I was almost passing out and it was so low. And that was when I discovered that even low blood pressure kills faster than high blood pressure.
Wow. It's just like the way low sugar kills as fast as high blood sugar. Same thing.
Alright guys, to celebrate World Hypertension Day, do yourself a solid, go to the hospital and make sure that you find out what your blood pressure number is. You could be saving your life. Like I said before we went on our short break, we're having a really deep conversation on something that I find incredibly sexy and may or may not be disturbing, and Neki has us on that.
It is disturbing actually.
Okay, so basically movies get affect us powerfully because of the combined impact of effect helps us to reflect on our daily lives. Now the effect of movies, or rather the influence of films, helps us basically is bi-directional and also helps us know how our culture and our society operates. But recently in pop culture, basically, there's been this popular series that has been in the buzz of social media named Lucifer. Now, Lucifer is a fictional story that tells us of how the devil got born in hell and came to Earth, or came to Los Angeles in United States of America to fight crimes. He had a nightclub, but basically, why this film is buzzing on social media is because of the impact it is playing in the society. And now we're going to be talking about it latest. Do movies really affect?
Amazingly, the year that it was launched by Fox TV, there was a petition signed by a group called 1 Million Moms in 2016 for Punch to make sure that they cancel it or halt it. Now, the storyline of the movie circles around the fact that the devil got so bored, like Neki said, in hell, and started to go to Los Angeles and see what's up. He came in really, really rich, opened a nightclub called Lux, and after the murder of a pop star where he joined in fighting the crime, he met a detective who he called Pure and Loving. And for her sake, he decided to be a better person. He joined the crime force, anonymously. If you saw the movie Castle, kind of like doing
Castle was
attached to that detective. And he helped them in fighting crime by finding out the bad and the good in people and making them confess. Now the series emphasizes the fact that he became a better person. He had a therapist that helped him on his journey to be a better person, that helped him emphasize how to be a good person. And then he started to fall in love. Now, Christians all over the world have been complaining bitterly about this movie, especially for one episode where they gave God a wife from hell.
Oh God!
So a lot of Christians did not love it, and in Nigeria, it was buzzing.
That is twisted. that is twisted.
And while all of that buzz was created on social media, something has happened. Everybody knows Mike Bamiloye. If you know Manzara movies, you obviously know Mike Bamiloye and his wife. They made a lot of movies that impacted a lot of lives. Now, somebody on social media went on to claim that she believes that Manzara movies affected us very, very wrongly. That it affected the Nigerian mindset. That a lot of things that would be seen as normal in developed societies, because of Manzara movies, Nigerians saw it as immoral or spiritually affected. One example that the lady gave was madness. Then right now, that when Nigerians see a mad person, they assume that the person did something bad and the person is a witch. Or when they see Nigerians having things like asthma attacks and seizures, they say that it was demons leaving the person's body and not actually a health situation. So the argument that she brought up and social media took up is that Manzara movies affected us negatively, and then there's Lucifer affecting how we think. So we're here thinking, do movies actually go a long way in affecting how our mindset is?
Hell yes.
Yes, it does. People tend to watch what they see on screen and they incorporate it into their normal life. Like they tend to learn from movies, basically. Yeah, like if they see a Christian movie, they want their kids to watch the Christian movies and try to be all holy and all. And what they don't know is that sometimes what we see in these films is not really real. most of the times. Like, okay, for example, Nollywood movies now, a Nigerian prince, we just see a girl.
Hey God! Hey God! Hey God! Oh God!
Marries her, and now our mindset would be like, oh, so
there's a prince waiting for me.
Yes, I'll see a prince one day that'll come and marry me, and I'm poor and all. Movies are not real people.
Disclaimer.
Okay, Neki, what do you think?
I feel that a lot of movies in our times are really twisted. Our society is becoming a whole lot of propaganda, really twisted for me, because it's not about us. We are the what's our generation again? Millennial kids.
Yeah, millennials.
Okay, so when you talk about the Gen Z, these are the people that their minds are forming. Their opinions about life it's been molded by things that they see, and by what they are watching. You know, they begin to form their opinions, their views, the perception to life generally, and by what they see, it begins to form a stronghold in their hearts. And so when they come to real life, or when they begin to see how life turns out to be, but when I watched this film, this was not how I used to be. Like the instance Juliet said, I personally grew up thinking that there'll be a rich prince out there that'll come and sweep me off, and no, honestly,
But water from the street.
No, but I'm not fetching water. I wasn't fetching water from the stream. But of course, because of too many Nollywood movies, I've always had the ideology that there's going to be a man out there that will just come and sweep me off my feet and just take away the taste. And of course, your mom will be telling you, look out for the rich man.
This is called by psychologists as a Cinderella syndrome.
Yeah, so it's affecting a whole lot of, maybe I'm millennial into the Gen Z. Movies are really, really crazy.
That is from Silver.
I think you guys have been dwelling on the negative aspect of it, but there's also a positive side to it. Movies give us this feeling that there is still hope.
Okay.
Like when you see a girl falling in love, maybe probably at 30, you still believe that, okay, yes, there'll still be love for me.
30 is not that old.
I
Are you sure that movies didn't make you believe that 30 is a miracle? For you to get married at 30
it still makes
like
you feel like
amazing.
You still feel like, yes, I have something to hope for. Like when you watch Cinderella, you see that, okay, so even though she suffered, at the long run, she still got the better life. So you can still hope that later in future, even though things are not good now, later on it will still get better. And there's this in mass communications, there are different theories that affect the way people view what they view. Like you see, uses and gratification theory. It talks about how the media, how viewers use when they view the content, they take it, they use it, and then they bring out the output. So people use different contents differently. Like four of us can watch the same movie,
Get different things.
yes.
It was actually an experiment carried out by psychologists when they told people to watch Iron Man 2, and they discovered that everybody's perception to it is really different because of the output that each people brings out differently. I am not saying that there are no positive impacts to movies. I am just saying that these days the negative influence of movies is beginning to downplay on the positive sides of movies, because they are good movies.
You can't blame it on the movie itself. You have to blame it on the individuals. Yes, because they are the ones displaying the attitude. It's not the movie. Although the way they framed the movie, there's an issue with it. But then the ultimate problem is the individual. The way the person reacts to what they've seen.
Okay, but the thing is, it depends on how much a narrative is pushed to you for you to decide if it is good or bad. For example, whenever we see a guy in an uncompleted building, we think that he's smoking.
Yes.
And then we have now attached uncompleted buildings to kidnapping. So if you see a young man in a uncompleted building, and let's now make it worse, he now has dreads. It's a kidnapper.
A bad boy.
And that is something that Nigerians have been struggling for a while. I mean, we have a lot of policemen claiming that tattoos and dreadlocks must mean that you must be
a criminal, cold boy.
The end sad situation going when young men are being killed, young men are being harassed. because they look a certain way. And we know, you know that watching Nollywood convinced you that if you smoke marijuana, you are a kidnapper, armed robber, killer.
We don't even go near uncompleted buildings.
Don't even go
We don't go near.
uncompleted buildings.
No,
But
let's come to think of it,
okay.
what is a man doing in an uncompleted
He went to relax there. There's no window, breeze is entering.
There's no roof.
There's no roof, breeze is entering.
It's not normal.
Okay, but you think it's not normal because of movies. Well, okay, let's bring it down now to how movies affect our mindset. We can look at a case study that happened, I think it was in Calabar State or Uyo. The young child that was kicked out of his home, about 3 years old, into the streets. Uyo, right? That he was a witch and then was found by a white woman. Now, this is a very interesting case study for me. First of all, a child that was about 2 to 3 years old, was thrown out by his own parents because their pastor told them that their child was a witch. Now, this child, who is doing so well right now, by the way, was picked up by a white lady. Now, let me tell you something about the white lady that's just crazy. She has a tattoo sleeve. Now, if you bring the picture of the pastor that asked them to throw out their child, and you bring the picture of the white lady with her tattoo sleeve, and they pick a typical Nigerian at random, who would they say is the good person?
They'll say it's the pastor because of the outwork. That's why I said, see, people look at.
But that doesn't really happen. Really, Nigerians are religious fanatics, naturally. They tend to, as these days, it's even rampant. Like, pastors tend to shaping most of Nigerians' mentality. They have this whole witch mindset. Like, everything is spiritual and nothing is natural anymore. Like, even health problems will be like, it's a witch that caused it. Like, they try to...
It's an attack.
It's a spiritual attack. Someone is having a heart attack, and they'll say that someone has poisoned the person, or I don't know. Nigerians they tend to become let's just say they are spiritual fanatics these days, religious fanatics, and they try to dwell too much on religious beliefs, and that's wrong. It's not movies.
Okay, let me tell you why it's movies. Now,
It's movies.
There's a term I'm sure all of us had in school called socialization. Everybody is born in a blank state, tabula rasa. You know nothing, you come out blank, and then you start getting socialization. Socialize is when you learn and when you develop a personality from the things that you see. Now, your very first agent is your family. That is your very first agent of socialization. So you're picking up the things that your family believe, and then you start going to school. Then you get to meet the second agent, which is the school. When you're in school, you start making friends, you get to meet the third agent, which is the peer group. Now, those guys will bring the belief from their family and bring it to you. You're picking that. And then you're developing a mind, a personality, and then you have mass media. The TV, the newspaper, the music. All of them shaping how you think and the personality that you're going to become. So you cannot say that you're taking the movies out of it. I grew up thinking that if you had long red nails, you were a witch.
Like this.
Because that is what the witches had in the
in the movies, and long hair like mine.
If you wore thongs, you were a prostitute. Because G-string is for prostitutes in the movies. So are you saying that there's no way these movies have affected the way we think?
In my house, basically, there's some channels I don't watch. If everybody's in the parlor sitting down, I don't watch them. I can't call the names of the channels because there was a day a particular scene was being played. I sat my mom down. I said, "Mom, come, let me explain something to you." I said, "Okay, what?" When I finished explaining, she said, "Make una just come out for the TV. She not come out," because I knew. You know, those suspicious, you're not free with people, you can't exhibit social behavior, you don't trust people. Because of movies, you can't go to people's house to eat. Because we've seen patients also putting white substance inside food and testing the poison.
Make sure it's potent.
Like or there she. Do you understand? So those movies, you know, it's because the truth is, I'm a Nigerian. I watch Indian films. It depicts the society, it depicts how the Indian society runs.
What if it's wrong? Do you really believe that they walk on the road singing and dancing? I have kidnapped your son. Kidnapped my son. Why do you do that? In India.
I asked one somebody that came into the country from India. She was a mass comm student, so they asked her to come research in Edo State for prostitution and all of the illegal migration, and she said it wasn't true. That they just feel that is what appeals to the African society, so they get to play. And I'm like, Okay, wow. No, it appeals to us. It really appeals to us. But the truth is, every movie we see, foreign or local, it has a subtle message of telling us that this is how the country runs. This is how the culture of these certain people, they are giving an idea of how they live their life, basically. So I think, like Siva would say, the individual too, we should be mindful of what we watch and what we see, because it creates a very huge picture in our hearts. So
okay, so let's circle around, and I'll get to Siva on this one. Now, are we, from all the conversations that we've had, are we saying that the movies are wrong? Now, a guy brought up a point while this conversation was going on social media. He said this on Twitter. He said that he believes that a lot of these movies are mirroring our society. That what they do is that they pick things that are already existent in our society, and then they create a movie out of it to give a lesson and teach people that these things are happening. So, do we agree that as much as these movies might be selling us a pipe dream, that they are actually mirroring society? Siva, what do you think?
Yes, I believe that movies actually, explain what happens in society. But personally, I'm not a fan of Lucifer, because it really, at some point, no,
he's a nice guy. Oh Lord,
I had to stop watching the movie. I didn't really like
it. Was messing with your mind.
I started thinking, I was like, really, is he the son of God? Did he really come out of hell? Is God unfair to send him out? So I had to stop watching it. But basically, movies actually bring hope to the society, and then there's always a lesson to learn from whatever movie that you see. But basically, you need to think. You need to ask yourself, what am I trying to pick from this movie? Then you get just the positive, and then you leave the negative. Just because you see violence on TV does not mean you have to go out on the streets and start acting violent. No, you learn the lesson, and then you leave the negative behind.
Okay, just to add to what Siva just said, movies in the good light of movies has helped show us history, of how we're not born in those times where they were Adolf Hitler, the World War II or World War, but we had an insight of how people suffered, how drugs were birthed, how the industrial era came up via movies. We're able to understand those times, those medieval periods.
You should read more books.
You studied ISD.
What's your point?
You studied ISD.
ISD is not history.
You studied ISD. So what I'm trying to say basically is that in the good light of movies, we've seen the past. Even in our generations, and our generation will come, will see our past, because of the people in our past, the writers, the producers, the directors. So movies are really good, because I've learned so much from movies, I would not deny it. But you just have to be careful to that point where it doesn't begin to mess up with your psychology and begin to make you doubt the fundamentals of life and of your faith. If you're a Christian, I'm a Christian, so Lucifer will make you doubt if you're not based. That's is the truth. I know. I've never seen the movie, so.
And you haven't.
It's actually
disturbing.
The first episode of Lucifer I watched. I didn't really. Lucifer did not affect my religious life in any way. I didn't watch it based on that aspect, that religious aspect. I actually watched it because Lucifer it was like this really hot, sexy.
So good looking.
Hey God.
I was like,
oh my God.
Very strange.
Really cool.
Would they bring a not so fine boy as a character?
I mean, if we're going biblically, Lucifer Morningstar is a very good looking person. Even in the Bible,
very great singer.
Very good looking, and he's very talented and stuff.
But
like
was there ever a part in the Bible where they said he was the son of God?
Well, it's the one that's not telling us is the son now.
So what about people's mind that are not really formed about these ideologies and it begins to mess?
I'll bring to note, we're going to round up very soon. This conversation is a madness. I'll bring to note something I saw while I was doing my research. And the person said something that made it, I found quite interesting. He said that the Bible is a history book. That if you read the Bible is a book that tells you things that happened before you. Every book, every verse was a story of a thing that happened. So what if they also did their research and they're bringing you alternate history?
What's your point, Joyce?
I'm telling you what I saw.
Ask that question again. What's the point? Everybody has their belief system. Everybody has their ideologies and perception. Human beings, we are created in a way that our mind asks questions. Our minds are, yes, we're very curious. We want to know, why is this? Why is the Bible this? Why is the Bible that? But on the other hand, we are created in a way to accept some basic truth. A Muslim believes that there is Allah. I believe that there is God. That's my belief system. Nothing is changing about it. I'm careful personally not to drive my curiosity to a point where I'm losing the fundamentals of life. And so people should be careful of that.
At this point, I'm actually tired of like so many interpretations of the Bible. I'm not even curious anymore. I'm just like, I just want to stay where I am. Like, I know there's God, there's Jesus. Okay, leave me alone. That's my own now.
Curiosity has helped in the upsurge of mankind. If somebody wasn't so curious about the fact of if electricity could exist, it probably wouldn't exist. If somebody wasn't so curious on the thought of whether they should roast meat or eat it raw, we probably wouldn't even know.
Like we said, the curiosity.
So curious as to wonder where the plants come from.
Joy.
I throw a seed, it grows. If I put it in the ground, what is going to happen?
Killed the cat.
Who is the cat? Have you met the cat before?
Yes, I met the cat. The cat has nine lives, and he died on the 10th one. But basically, I like the angle. I like the angle of which you're coming from. Like I said, we're created in a way to ask questions. We're created in a way to say, why is this? Why is that? And I feel that all of this discovery and inventions was birthed out of curiosity. But these individuals, these intellectual minds, they always knew where to draw the line.
Okay, I think my last question, I don't think they knew where to draw the line. If they did, they wouldn't do a surgery and bring a child out of the womb, do a surgery on the child and put it back. They kept being curious. That is why the world is developing, because somebody kept being curious.
Anyways,
we're going to wrap up right now. My last line of question is this. I think you guys should really think about it, especially you watching at home right now. Somebody raised a point that I found excessively interesting. I think he said that Nigerians do not know where to draw the line between entertainment and real life. It's like, for example, yes, it's just for some reason we want to draw a moral lesson from every movie that we see. What was the moral lesson from Endgame? Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. So movies are just for entertainment.
The past always come to the future.
Do Nigerians feel the need to actually see entertainment? All our movies have to end with "To God be the glory." The bad man has to die. The bad man has to go to hellfire. The prince must marry
the poor girl.
It's because we are spiritual people.
We be the glory. Why can't we just watch movies for the sake of entertainment? Just because. Why do we always have to pick a moral lesson? Why do we always have to learn something? Why can't we just go and see act or keyboards or both, even win?
Because the truth is, there's always a lesson to learn. Even if the villain is still the one ruling, there's always something to learn. It's our society.
Like Thanos now, for example.
Thanos had a point.
So you're not hating too much.
Thanos is a good person.
He had a point.
Because you're not in the movie, they didn't wipe you out. They didn't wipe your family out.
That there has been a lot of research that shows that food population has doubled the size of food production. Thanos
wiped out. Hey, God!
We're going to wrap up this conversation. I'm going to have you guys give me your last thoughts on our topic for today. Do movies affect our mindset? I'll start with you, Silva.
Yes, I believe movies affect our mindsets, but then basically, as I said before, we should really filter. We should use a filter. Like whatever we're getting, take the positive, leave the negative. Do not allow your mindset to be corrupted.
Neki Moyo.
Okay, I feel everything we take in, make up of who we are. So movies affect, but just be careful of what you watch. Everything is not meant for your consumption as a human being. What appeals to Silva mustn't appeal to me. So know what works for you, and
especially in X-rated movies. How about you?
Well, definitely movies affect the way we think. They tend to give us how to like this view of life that we didn't formerly have. Yeah, so I think we should just learn to filter, like Sila said, just learn to filter the positive parts. And movies don't always try to teach us lessons, although there's something to always learn, but try to be entertaining sometimes. It is not every time you try to pick one big lesson you want to learn. Just be entertained when you're watching movies, and don't criticize too much. The writers are trying.
Yeah, they are.
I think we should all strive to understand the fine line between fiction and reality. A lot of stories are based entirely on fiction, and they do not in any way affect the place that we live in. But yes, movies has gone a long way to affect the way our mind is set. And on that note, we're calling it a day on the Breakfast Show. I had so much fun, guys. And we'll be here to do something similar like this tomorrow by 10 a.m. We give you the weekend rundown. Today we have a one-on-one with Reverend Olu Martins. It promises to be explosive. Just stay where you are. By 10 a.m. we will be here with our amazing host, Mr. Kerem Odupe, and it's going to be crazy. My name is Joyce Chicks. Have yourself a lovely weekend and good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.